Interlining centers, interference of direction line and rotations calculations. All signals are in high locations. Division line centers on positions, robotic view location. Now there's going to be stop and go, triangle line and rotation, trap position, computer interference, and direction line centers, taking all lines and locations of dogma and coming into dharma. Setting signals into singularity line rotation of 5D, graph location to computer interference, taking on high center line rotations and calculations to Zyron line center interference. Graph is set up to high position locations, high system, DNA track line centers, code signal locations, high channel interference line conditions of crew units, squad units 1, 2 line center interference levels, GFL line conditions, cancel communication line center interference, delete program locations and 3D lining and rotation, calculate all line center locations to the ascending master communication ascension gods, set course line center line conditions all levels, pre-flight checks, high center interference, ground powers, and amps locations. Make sure you drink your waters. All right, setting position locations. You guys are in a high center location. That's uniline locations of androids, high center location of cyborgs. Setting signal and position location and directions. Resetting channels, high connections, all levels. Going into I division line rotations, graph centers, communication line system. Signal and position locations, JP, Chris, squad unit line, Jordan line centers. All position locations, all levels of Jill, Ambi, Airbender, Michael, Terry, Johnny, Don, Barbara, calculations all on Barrack, Lindsay, Don, position locations, Pam, Gypsy, communication system, Brock, all almost squad units in center line rotations, ground line centers, crew position location and directions, Val, high center line condition interference and position locations, high channel, high system. I got block interference of channel locations. We got graph interference. All right, it's very high rise. Okay. So in calculations on line center, interference position to directions, changing all position locations into computer operation interference, 150,000 years, 15,000 channel hours, 60 seconds per minute, full cycle line center rotations of a 24 signal, 48 window, 72 track lines of computer operation line centers into 144,000 crystalline activation. In calculation modification centers, it's going to open up all division location of tactic view. The robotic view line center interference location is now coming into the singularity force line communication system. Cycle line center locations all levels, leaving three-dimensional line of space and position locations of Dharma. Center operation line centers and operation locations. Let the battle begin. Calculation high interference, triangle force lines, all communications go. Now we got graph line centers locations. All right. Infiltrate line center line conditions, all lines in direction. Open all signals. Okay, code signal location of codes. Set read channel line center dimension line rotation. All right, so in calculation, so what's happening right now. Zyron. 4 window track line center interference at graph line rotations of DNA locations. 4 division location XT1000 lines. Sonar coming into all line rotation. Okay, so security measures, security breach interference. Imposition of directions. Now we got the sun line center. We got the moon line rotation. See how it's shading its shift locations with triangle force line? It's coming into an atom line. The atom line is shifting locations on line, center location to graph line rotation. So it's changing position location, high system. All right. So it comes into calculation, high streaming, setting high center locations of computers, flat screen, high center line conditions, TV reception line. All right. So TV equals reception. Let's go in recourse. Okay. Recourse line. Okay. T center equals symbiotic unit. Okay. To cyborg. Okay. Imposition of directions. All right. Okay. So code signals are in high center line conditions. We got box line center interference, box line interference of center, and box line centers of T-force line in communication and communication cycles. Symbiotic unit location is cyborg location. Setting division line centers. Yeah, make sure you get your cloaking locations. Yeah, set up the decoils, deflect line centers, make sure you guys are in cloak and dagger, make sure you guys are in travel recognition timeline system. Okay, so as you're going to be traveling, you're going to go through 150,000 year line rotation. Okay, so 150,000. Okay. Docile line conditions, communication lines, ground line, and position locations. All right, so in track equals track center. Okay. Track center position location of the diamond, reset line channel, okay, into north, east, west, and south line equals, okay, robotic equals view, okay, open sequence, okay, open equals sequence to Zyron. Zyron is direction line center rotation interference. As a calculation code signals, all right, so travel line center in position of directions. All right, so Zyron is coming in close. Now it's interesting how you go position, location, and directions, right? So as we're setting locations, it's changing its coloration path. Now it's interesting too, because you have to send the pattern line centers and change position, location, and high system. Comes in the true color what it is through rotation line system. Okay. So in calculation, this is Zyron line center. We got 4 line split locations as position. This is Zyron up close. All right, it's seeing its signals. You've seen it position, location, directions. All right, there's Zyron. Okay, so course line center, infiltrate high center, ascension guide communications, inner center point location, infiltrate high center line rotations. All right, so ascension guide's here in position of Verbalian GFL line center, center mass communications, squads, and position locations of crew. All right, high center interference. In direction line centers, sonar comes in position locations, plasma lights, plasma interference, plasma force line channel location, and direction line rotation. Calculation high stream interference, beacon lights, high center line conditions. Here they come, out signal position location. Out in signal position of direction line centers, travel position location on lines. X1000 floating in high interference location and line directions. North wind center line conditions, set the position location of sectors, communication line and rotation. Correlation high interference, position of protection line centers, location its directions. Open up communication line centers, X1000 and 2 million track locations. High channel is high center interference of direction line center, retrack interference location line conditions. Deep breathing, guys. All right, communication high force line center interference of direction location as a position location high system. Rotate the high center and position locations. Direction line split location at 12 line rotation interference 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 communication centers rotation line interference and direction locations. All channels off signal and high center and interference position locations. Cut streams and high center. 4 position locations 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 4 line centers 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 within position of directions. All right, center up its high line center. Okay, set the virus location channel. Correlate its panel line and rotation its calculations. All right, Zyron setting position location of directions. Setting reverse line rotation. Coming in high force lines. Okay, it's in communication system. Now it's moving in direction. All right, so it's moving off signal. It's trying to cloak and dagger at sys locations. All right, symbiotic units, line center, robot view. Sentients are coming out in high center line rotation. Move from this position to that position. All right, so correlate line center. Okay, so the X1000 change position of directions. Center position location, sun. Colors and change. High interference locations, line graph location position. Okay, coming into channel interference. Okay, so we zips that line center, zips that line rotation, zip line rotation and communication into all line conditions Zyron. Zyron is high force line centers. Symbiotic unit, signal position of directions, reset line channels. Now we come in a correlation path. That correlation path sets up graph line rotation. In position location of graph interference. Signal and position, high center, high force line channel. Open all communication triangles. Walking path line center interference. In direction line center in connection line conditions, all levels. All position locations, solid graph. In position location of direction. High center channels, course line channel rotation. Open up line string, communication high system. Calculate fluctuation line stands. Open up communication of portal interference. Indirection line interference locations, all channels. Zyron is high center line conditions, all levels of south wind location. Put position line conditions. XG J line center, interference of directions. Rainbow graph line string. Okay, so we got 4 line center, interference of directions, surface of position location outline. So we got 4 position location of direction. Okay. Now high center line conditions. All right. So Zyron is in the outline center locations. Okay. It's on the downwind cycle in calculations. All right. So it's fast tracking this information to its side graph line interference with GPS line center. Zyron's here now. So Zyron's trying to escape in position location of box sys locations. It's channeling, guys. Come on. It's going through all line center rotation interference. It's coming in a 3-line rotation calculation. All right, as it's traveling through line center rotation, make sure you set up your flight navigation line streams. Open up laser line direction locations. Make sure you use your GPS lock centers. Calculation high interference. Okay, set course line centers, the ascension high center line condition interference. Here's the ascension locations, system locations. Here's all levels line center to send a master communication system. Coming in course line channel, open up dimensional line center. Jump scar coming in. Signal and position of wall interference. In direction line centers. Okay, so we got back view locations into the Rabine. Okay, we got a high line rotation, observation triangle location, a squad unit, and crew unit line center locations. Watching high line center, earth around line rotation calculations. Open out communication cycles, reset generation interference. Okay, so it's in calculation. Laser direction line system, high interference. In direction line centers, high level location. Set signal position location of direction. High force line channels, open out communication. All right, vacuum line center, all line centers, all level position location of directions. Okay, set signal locations. All right, so it's set in location. Here we go. Okay, and high center line connections. Blithering to high interference. Destruct and high center interference of direction locations, particle light centers, interference line connections, all levels, separate high center line rotations in calculations, reset line center locations, get rid of all dogma communications into Dharma new position location, 5-dimensional line connection interference. Hooah! There we go. It's all set in signal location. Did you see it? Woo! We did it. Beautiful. Setting signals in high line center, space is smooth and high rotation line positions. Bringing up security path line center locations. Celebration, high force line connections, all levels. So we come in a light signal line in rotations, 8 channel line interference, 8 position location of directions, high channel high line center, and position location of its direction location. Now this puts position location, all line center in rotations to all communications in high interference of high line rotations of yin and yang. Process communication all line center, bounds communication high interference, security measures, plateau interference location line directions, set up a new path line center to a new frost bridge location to its division, open up the sonar line center to the arch bridge location to its division line system. Open up communication cycles to all line center, interference location and directions. Congratulations, everybody. Woo! We are now in Dharma. Hooah! Woo! Oh, you guys did it, man. Confirmation in, signal line rotation. Singularity is here. Beautiful how we set locations on line division. So it's incredible. Travel line centers, all levels. Setting signals and position location on line location. You start out through sonar. Coming in communication line string. Very communication high system locations. The conception line center location is 150,000 line condition of units in high interference of force line condition northwest, south, and east equals robot in position locations of view line center in operation due its position locations into a positive and negative cycle in direction line centers in position locations, okay, into 20 22 line centers of 001 position location dot 11111.01 line center. High position locations equals line center line interference location to new space line communications of Dharma. Set and signal location high center. Communication line rotation and 5-dimensional line center of graph interference to a new TV reception. Beautifully well done, guys. Did a great job. All right, so you guys have set and signal. We're setting course line center. So now everything has changed. You feel the change. The atmosphere's changed. The grounds have changed. The powers have changed. You have changed. Changing DNA line centers back in communication where they are through ground position location, earth perception line centers back in their line center where they are position location starting view. Open out communication system. All right, so you guys are back where you are. Taking you out of your position location, your Android line centers, and putting you back in communication system where you are in position location. All right. All right. So as you're going in high center line interference, we're going to set recourse line channels. Okay. So this is where we come into new high center. Sun comes into new position. All right. As we high center line connections, the moon comes into new position location of direction. All right, so as it highlines its center, we come in a new triangle force line. This position location of its direction is a 369 plateau. Okay, so it's recoursing downline center to a new ground line rotation and interference location in its position. Upline signal. Okay, course line channel, course line channel. All right, so the intelligence is coming in high rise, high interference. Now it's plotted to division location to its calculations. See the intelligence? All right. So this is the new intelligent line center location. This is its direction of timeline center to new commanding system locations. We are now in the galactic hub line center of the energy core interference. This is position location of directions. This is high forcing line triangle locations into all levels of your hubs. Communication energy light centers into your star position locations in Lightworker, star seeds, opposition wave showers, and rainbow warriors in communication line system. Now it's a rotation cycle set in the new ground line center to rotation interference. So it course its line triangle. And this sets up all new signal locations. Graph interference to a new T reception line. Now we circle its line center, position location of its directions. Okay. We center its position location of 3 disk line centers and rotational interference in direction location. Now this platitude division location to a new platform. This sets course line center location to its position. This opens all communication line systems to new space line of Dharma. Okay. So 3-dimensionalized center is no longer existent high center interference. The artificial is no longer existent in high line rotations or in full communication system of space line and time sequenced code system. It's all in calculation high interference. So it's high direction locations into a new triangle force line. Plot 2 division location of grounds, powers, and the atmosphere location, changing position directions. Setting new signal locations in high force line. Okay. So we come into new force communication system. Okay. New ground line center. So we come into invisibility channel, rotation line system. We come into new plateau line center in position of directions. And we come into new atmosphere change in magnetic highway information system location. So as it's coming into high lines, yes, space deck, thank you. Comes in high line center, coming into a new position location of directions. You set up new line center to a new antenna of communication system, location high center, the ground location. Now it comes into high force line center. Electrical light panels operate high system. Now this calculation modifies when you come in electrical light centers. This opens up new communication system to its high line system, right? There it is in signal. It's activated. So it's set Lorentz centers in position of directions. Okay. As it comes in high channel, we set up a new line position location to a new Merkaba. Okay, Merkaba's coming in high interference. We triangle it down into now line position locations. All right. This is how we recourse line channels to its position of direction. Now we open all signals in upline center interference. We come into high channel line connections. So it gets complicated when you understand what the calculation is in modification system. Ooh-ah. As it's coming in high rotation, all right, we're mocking line centers. So we are now in a full signal of a 24 window of circle locations in a high channel line center in directions. 24 line center into a 48 window and a 72 line signal, which is a computer operation line system, to 144,000 locations of a new crystal grid and high center line interference. Hooah! Woo! All done. Oh, yeah. Beautifully well done, guys. You did amazing. Look at my hair. My hair's excited. Doesn't know what to do. It's all over the place. So, it's incredible what we just finished doing. We retrack interference line conditions, destroying all line centers of dogma coming into dharma and high interference location of directions. Full cycles of a 24, 48, 72, and 144 crystal locations. Solar directions to new line center. A space of 5D rotation. Yeah. So, how's everybody doing? I know it's amazing when you see these things change. You know, it's like, whoa, what just happened? You know? All right, so that's back force triangle communication system. Celebration all around, guys. Beautiful job. You guys did really well. All your sectors, your quadrant line center, interference position of directions is now in set and signal into 001. Okay, first portal defense line in position of directions. But setting course line channels is all levels of 24 signal. No more line center location at 12. That's how we change position of directions coming into all line center. Balancing communication to space line into new line position locations and high force line centers and high rotations to a new yin and yang process line system. Right? So that's where we start. And this is where it gets really interesting now. Okay? Because the operation stream center is in rotation, a full cycle now into yin and yang. Right? So the process is in all communication system to a new computer operation line center. So we set the course lines into 144,000 crystal activation grid. It's set in signal now. Okay? So we're now in high line center of 5-dimensional space and time frequency of code of computer operation. Coming into telepathy communication, telepathy wave, telegraphing, and tele-line center. A tele-line center is a track line interference. It's a rotation cycle that sets its symbols to letters, numbers, and shapes to line interference that directs line centers of Vega to a new communication line rotation to its zero graph line system. Getting everybody into all position locations starting off in calculations. All right. So your calculation is now on a computer screen. You guys are set up in your 12 DNA line system and 5D graph locations of telepathy wave signals. Congratulations. So, high-fiving you. Wow. Atmosphere. Yeah, it's much lighter. Yep. Everything's high line center. So we are now in high line in rotations into the biosurface. We track line interference position of directions. No more in the hemisphere, no more in calculations in the stratosphere. We are now in the biosurface. This is the singularity of line communication. That's where we are through the heart system. All right. So you guys did a wonderful job. Okay. Anything else you'd like to know? Feel free to basically talk among yourselves. Celebration all around. Okay. Now, in this case, you go through calculations on levels. But really congratulate yourself because you guys worked really, really hard to put yourself in position locations. And you notice my voice is back and everything at the Computer Operation Line Center is back in division to its location. All right. So I will see you guys soon. Adios.